Going back to work sucks. Don't get me wrong, I have a great job. I love the people at work, everything else. Can we just run away and live in the woods? Although I do like my technology. Maybe I just need to be unemployed. No, then I wouldn't be able to buy technology. Maybe my life is just fine. That's possible. First day back at work after the fast is always one of the toughest days. You spend all of this time connecting and doing these spiritual things and cultural things, and then you're right back to paperwork and emails and schedules, and it throws me off every year. But it wasn't too bad today. Everything's been pretty good. Stuff's kind of planning out. I have some actual downtime scheduled for the next week or two. That'll be nice. It was interesting for me coming back to work this time because I don't really talk much about my work, mostly because it's a pretty good job. Everything is good. I like my boss. I like my coworkers. And a couple months ago, I actually got really excited because it felt like it was becoming something more that I was going to get really excited about. And now, because of things like reporting and structures and funding and everything else, I've sort of lost my gas and lost my excitement about it, which is sad for me. I'd had it again after about 6 years. I've been at this job for 6 years and I was getting excited again. And now I'm just sort of back to maintenance mode, and that's really disheartening. And again, nothing is wrong. Please don't fire me. Don't. I need this job. And I'm good at my job. I'm good at what I do. But my excitement about developing new things and like pushing forward and trying new stuff just sort of got sucked away. And that happens, and I get it, and it makes sense. It also reminds me of why I wanted to be an entrepreneur in the first place for so long, and why I kind of wish I was still doing that in some cases. It's an odd thing being involved in a culture, you know, specifically with Indigenous circles, where schedule and time and everything like that is sort of more nebulous and purposefully nebulous, because it takes away that sort of slavery to the clock and makes it more about people and about process. Working with a community like that, being part of a community like that, and working with a community like that, but being in a system that still has strict time addiction is a real challenging thing, and it's a rare thing to get excited in the midst of that. And I was excited. I got really excited, and now, for reasons that totally make sense from a systemic perspective, because of the way things work, and it totally makes sense, I just, you know what, and it's okay. I mean, having a job and not being desperately passionate about your job, but being happy and content in your job is not a bad thing. There's no problem with that. My dad always used to say that for him, he would work to live. And I would always say, no, like if you're passionate about your job and you live to work, then you never really have to work. And I think I realized that sometimes you just have to work, and that's okay. I mean, it lets me do things like this. It lets me do the fast. It lets me go away. I'm just whiny, really. You know, it's funny to think about the fact that being in this job for 6 years is the longest that I've been in a job, I think, ever in my adult life. Maybe that's it too. Maybe I'm getting some wanderlust. I don't know. Do you ever get that? Do you ever get that feeling where things are good and there's nothing really wrong with what you're doing, but you just feel like striking out and doing something new, and something that fills you with maybe some fear and excitement and passion, and that just fires you up? That's what I'm missing right now. That's what got taken away with the whole sort of put the brakes on thing, was that fire, that passion. And I miss that. I kind of want it back. But this damn addiction to food and clothing and shelter that I have, can't shake it. I'm a junkie. Stupid capitalism. Okay, so I need some advice here. I think when I go camping this weekend, I'm going to use my hammock for the first time. I have a fly sheet for it, tarp thing. Any suggestions on how to do it? I usually go for the tent, but because I'm just going by myself for a night, thinking it's probably easier to just sort of swing in the breeze. I have no idea if anybody who watches these is a hammock camper at all. Google just tells me to buy fancy things from the store. I just don't have the money for fancy things from the store. Plus, you're cuter than Google, so.